Welcome to QuickBooks Online Tips and Tricks. My name is Pam, and I'd like to welcome Michelle.
Hi, Pam. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, it's great to have you. I hope you can answer some of my questions. Right now, I have all of these expenses in my QuickBooks. How do I add them to my register?
Sure. I would love to help you with that issue. So, as you can see, I'm on our banking screen. This will list all of your accounts that are currently attached and connected to your bank. First of all, before you enter any transactions or add any transactions to your register, you want to make sure that you click the update button. This will download any recent transactions that may have occurred. And as you can see, it will let you know the last time that your QuickBooks has been updated, and all three accounts were just updated moments ago. So that's perfect. So first, you'll want to click on the For Review tab, and let's find our first expense. So we're going to start with this expense on 5/9 to Tim Phillips Masonry. What QuickBooks does is if QuickBooks does not know where to categorize the expense, it will put it in a holding account called uncategorized expense. This is in your chart of accounts. You'll want to make sure when you're running reports or looking at your chart of accounts that there are no transactions just sitting there, because again, that is a holding place and you'll want to make sure that you recategorize those. So this first expense, under the bank detail, it says Tim Phillips Masonry. So QuickBooks was able to identify that this expense belongs to this vendor, and since it has already populated this field, that means this vendor is already in our vendor list, as you can see here. So we've already either had a expense or we've written a check to him. So it'll automatically populate. And so you'll just want to make sure that that payee field is completed. Your next field is the category. This is the field that is pulling from your chart of accounts, and it'll either be an expense account or a cost of goods account. So for this particular item, we are going to categorize this transaction under an expense. And you'll notice that your chart of accounts is customized based on your company and your industry. So they may look a little different. So this particular transaction, we are going to say that Tim Phillips Masonry was a building repair. So we click on building repair. Also, what I'd like to note is if you have a main account, like this maintenance and repair, and then you have sub-accounts, you always want to make sure that you choose the sub-account. Okay? You can add a memo. Again, that is just in case you want to go back. If you can't remember exactly what building repair that was for, we'll just put in building A there for now. You can also apply it to a customer project if you are tracking that for your particular company. You can also add an attachment here. If you have a receipt or an invoice, you just click Add Attachment, find it on your computer, and it will automatically add it to this transaction so you can go back and take a look at it in the future if needed. Okay, so once your payee and your category fields are complete, you just click Add, and this has now added to your bank register. And we're going to just click on Go to Bank Register. That transaction was on 5/9. As you can see, here is the transaction we just added. It has cleared. And so we can go back. So that's great. That was the purpose, obviously. I'm going to show you another transaction. So this transaction from A Rental, as you notice, the payee is not completed. It is blank. That is because QuickBooks does not recognize this A1 rental under the bank detail due to the fact that we probably have not used this vendor in the past, because if I start typing A1 rental, you'll see that nothing populates. So they are not in our vendor list. So what you will need to do is click add. You can either quickly just add the name if that's all you need and hit save, or you can click on details. It'll take you to the vendor information screen. You can enter all of the information there, like address, email, phone, if needed. I'm not going to do that at the moment. So I would, right now I'm going to hit cancel. You'll want to make sure if you are adding everything, hit save. So we'll hit cancel. I'm going to go back and type in a rental and hit add again. All right, so we're going to just do a quick save. Do save. It'll automatically populate. We're going to choose the category, and we're going to say rentals. And again, this is a sub-account, so choose the sub-account. And we'll just put in skid loader as our memo. And then you just click add. One other feature you'll see in the action column, you'll either see an add or a match when you're downloading and adding your transactions and or income. So what this does is QuickBooks has recognized that we have already entered an invoice and payment for this particular vendor. And so it is matching what we've already entered into QuickBooks. And so all you need to do is, as long as this is correct, you want to verify that that is the correct expense, you just click match, and it will automatically be added to your register. And so hopefully that explains how you download and enter your bank feed expenses.
That was great, Michelle. You really answered a lot of my questions. Now, how can I create a rule to automatically categorize transactions? I feel like I spend so much time, categorizing them individually. There's got to be a better way to do it.
There is. Thank you for asking. So if we click on, we're going to use A1 rental again, because I noticed that obviously we had that the expense before, and I noticed that they are in here again. So the chances of us using this vendor multiple times is probably pretty high. So instead of going in and having to enter and add every single time, we will create a rule so QuickBooks will automatically categorize the transaction based on the rule that we set. So if you click on the expense, click create a rule. This is going to bring you to your screen where you're going to create how you want the rule to be applied. So usually and this is total preference, but usually when I'm naming the rule, I will name it the name of the vendor. For me, that makes sense. That's, you can customize that. That's a personal preference. So I'm going to name this rule A1 rental. You will then pick either money out or money in. Money out is any expenses, checks written, any money that is going out of your account. Money in, obviously, is any deposits, any revenue. The next field is you're going to choose your bank accounts that you would like this rule to be applied to. I personally always choose all bank accounts just because I have vendors that I may maybe write a check to one time, and then maybe the next time I decide to put it on a credit card. If you choose all your bank accounts, this rule will then apply to every account. So again, that's entirely up to you and your business. Okay, so then it's going to automatically add a condition. And as you can see, this is already filled in for us. The description, if it contains a rental, then it will be applied to this rule. The next one, this is an expense. So the drop down, you can choose expense, transfer, check, but we're working on check, so we're going to, or expense, so we're going to keep it there. The category, as you can see, it automatically applies the category that we chose the last time. We know that every time we use A1 rental, it's going to be categorized as equipment rental. So we'll keep that as is. And the payee, again, is A1 rental. So there is also an auto add feature, which will automatically add the bank roll to your check register. I personally suggest not using it just because you want to make sure that you are categorizing them correctly. So once all of these fields are complete, you just hit save. It's going to automatically create that roll. And as you can see, here's the expense. It will come up with a green box that says roll. I'm just going to click on that so you can see it drop down. And as long as you are okay with that, nothing has changed, then you would just click add, and it's going to add it to your register. So it's as easy as that. The roll function is very simple, yet it's very important. You know, if you have transactions that are occurring over and over again, it will definitely make your life easier.
Michelle, that was so helpful. I feel that that will definitely be useful as I manage my books. Everything that you talked about today is a definite asset in doing, managing, my transactions and rules. So thank you. Today that wraps up the QBO tips and tricks. I hope everybody got something out of it. Have a great day.